It is my great pleasure now to invite Associate Professor Simon McIntyre to present our third project, an immersive film experience titled My First Day, an Empathy Project. Simon is the Director of the Educational Innovation pillar within the PVC SE. Please welcome Simon.
Thank you, Carly. It's a real honour to have the entire team of this project trust me to represent them in these 10 minutes. I'll do my best. Has anyone ever had that dream where you're late for a lecture and you know that everyone's going to be looking at you? How does that make you feel? What's the anxiety that generates inside, and how does that set you up for your interactions with that group when you finally get there? Have you ever been part of a conversation where you haven't quite understood what people are talking about? How does that make you withdraw, and how can that set the bones of your experience with that group going forward? These are some of the issues that this project is looking at in the context of a student's first day at UNSW. We've talked a lot in this session. A lot of people have talked about different cultures, different races, different perspectives. We have such a rich student environment where people from all over the globe come together and interact in a situation with a whole new brand new set of rules, brand new set of people. And how they interact and the relationships they form are a critical part of what forms their UNSW student experience and the potential that can be realised through collaboration and networks in their career ahead. The first day is important. So this project is a way to actually help new students coming into this environment reflect on who they are, how they would react in those conversations or situations, and give them the tool set and the sort of reflective capability to prepare them for these situations they're going to face in the real world, to help them make the right choice, to reach out, to connect, and then to go forward in a much stronger, collaborative, inclusive way. So this project is an interactive 360 virtual experience project, and I'm hoping some of you got to try that before we got here to this stage. It's about making choices. So the choices you make, and we're actually sort of looking at the choices you make, and we're going to be sort of recommending different options and support services that UNSW provides to help students, first of all, understand how they react, to get them to know there's support out there that can help provide them with more opportunity. You find yourself as a newly arrived student, you're late for that first lecture, hence the reference to that dream. And it's about understanding that, hey, I can see inside people's minds. People are the same. They're just as nervous as me. The teacher isn't someone that's unapproachable. People here are friendly. They want to help. That's what this project is trying to open up, and just really take the veil of mystery off the social situation people find themselves in. It's about also providing a level of personalised feedback. So we can say to someone when they get through this, hey, you acted confidently. This is going to set you up well for the future. Or maybe you want to work on these skills. Here's some ways we can help you by connecting you to experts in this place who can actually give you that guidance. But I think the most important part of this project is that it came from a student. So we're going to introduce you soon to the originator of this concept, Patience. She was an honours student. She's an alumna of Art and Design, a Bachelor of Design honours program. And as part of her honours project, she reflected on her own journey through UNSW. And I'll get her to unpack this, I won't try and do it for you. But really, it was that powerful reflection coming from someone who lived this experience that really wanted us to follow up on making it real, to help other people. I was a mentor for Carly's project, Carly was the supervisor, so it just so happened we were in a position to help make this a real thing. The research that Patience did during her project, she talked to a lot of international students. And this started as something from the international perspective. Through the project, it's evolved to something that's relevant to all students because we all find ourselves in that situation to some degree or other. But it's about differences, lack of understanding, language, even colloquialisms, things like that that can put us off kilter and make us withdraw. What she found was that it can have a profound impact on well-being and academic success. So we can help. She pitched a project that was all about an immersive experience that put you in the shoes of someone in these challenging sort of initial situations, to give you a sense of empathy so that you could carry that forward into your own interactions. But I'll move on and get to you guys in 1 second, but I just wanted to point out that collaboration is the key for this project actually working. We have had the student insight, the fantastic idea and real experience that was the seed of this project. My team in the innovation pillar, our media and immersive team with the technical expertise to really bring this to life, working with a fantastic director, fantastic script writers, professional staff, students, even actors from NIDA, coming in and actually bringing this to life. It's been fantastic, and I can't thank the Innovation Hub enough providing this opportunity for us. So without further ado, let's listen to someone a little bit more interesting, perhaps. I want to introduce Patience Lowe. Basically, she's also now a professional out there. She's an experienced designer, which is absolutely fantastic to have that coming back in again, so thank you. And also Dr. Amin Palanji, who's been the director for this project, an award-winning director, I should mention. But fantastic to have all these different skills coming together. So what I wanted to do is just ask you guys a couple of questions to dig a little bit deeper into this, and I'll start with you, Patience, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I really want to dig a little bit deeper on what motivated you to create this project idea for your honours.
Hi everyone, and thank you, Simon, for that stellar introduction. Yeah, this project has just been, incredible to be a part of, and that's in part to the team that's been behind me, the Innovation Hub, and being backed by all these wonderful people who have made the project a reality. In truth, where it started, I was just an undergraduate student in my honors project, but I really wanted, I think, to make it really personal to myself and my own experience. So I was unpacking a lot of my narrative. I'm an international student. I'm originally from Singapore, moved here in 2016. So I just remember in one of my first design classes, there was one of my classmates made a joke, a colloquial joke, and it completely flew over my head. And I had to ask what the joke meant, and everyone laughed. So yeah, it kind of stemmed from that, and trying to bring that narrative into a project as big as this, to break down the gaps and the barriers that not just international students, but probably all students go through. I have been fortunate enough to have been on both sides of that metaphorical social belonging coin. So I was that international student who faced those cultural, social, even sometimes language barriers. But I was also that assimilated student who found out what it was like. I joined a bunch of social clubs, understood the importance of establishing some of those social connections early on. So that's pretty much where the project started, because I wanted to spread that word to other students, for them to build the confidence and capability to kind of step up of their comfort zone, kind of bridge the gap between all these different groups of students. And yeah, the whole idea of you're not alone in your anxiety and your nervousness in your first day of school. So. Thank you.
Excellent. I mean, I might also ask, why VR? Why is that important in this?
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for the introduction. Really appreciate it. Yes, it's a great question. I just want to reiterate some of the things that's been already mentioned and highlighted. Well, I'm coming to the project from a filmmaker's perspective, and one of the things that any storyteller thinks about is audience, and the fact that now from what Patience's work has enabled us, I guess, to come up with It was about first identifying who the project is for, so looking at the audience and then finding ways of I guess, reaching that audience and identifying the purpose. And we certainly had some challenges around coming up with the narrative that works first to identify this. For example, this is a university project, and it is very hard to identify an antagonist or to have an antagonist, but with any narrative story, you need to have drama. So one of our challenges was to identify drama without really pointing the blame at anyone. And for a storyteller, that is quite a complex thing to come across. But we were fortunate that, as Simon mentioned, it's a group project. There's a number of people who are amongst you, and you'll see their names later, to come up that the situation is actually what the antagonist is for this experience. And from there, we realized that perhaps something like VR, aside from sort of engaging a younger audience and newer audience to the technology that is advancing, but also it maximizes that user experience with the narrative. When you watch a film as an audience member, you do identify or empathize with the characters that you see and the challenges that they go through. But when you are going through a VR experience, you are the character. I mean, at the moment, I guess the technology is allowing us to get that much closer to the sense of feeling or experience that anyone could go through within the narrative that you are presented with. So, sorry for a long answer, but we thought that VR perhaps could be a more useful experience to cross those barriers of culture, language, and I would say personal, a lot of personal barriers that we might have for ourselves. An experience that could help you understand that you're not alone. There are others just like you, and although we don't communicate maybe about those sense of anxieties and fears, they are common amongst others. And also for those that are feeling perhaps a bit more secure, to understand what other students around them might be feeling, and therefore can sort of approach them and help them out that way.
Okay, no, thank you. I'm aware we've got time pressures, so I think we've covered the other questions within what we've said, but I just want to thank you guys very much for coming today and sharing that. Just really quickly to wrap up, there is a lot of people here, and I know I don't have time to list everyone, but I just want to make sure we've got the names up there. Writing, sound design, acting, the design work that's gone into it as well. Baron, you're there somewhere. So thank you all very much. What I just want to point out is this is a snapshot. We're finishing it for early T1, I should say. We want it ready for O Week. Go try it. We want feedback. We really want to get that feedback to make it as polished as we can. QR code goes to website, but also we've got some QR codes for feedback down there. Please try it. Please tell us what you think. Thank you so much, everybody.
Huge thank you to that amazing team that took on a very hard and tricky project but has come to an amazing outcome. I'd also like to thank, obviously, Patience for being our original concept lead, and also to Melody Fram for her management of the project, and to NIDA for enriching the project further with some amazing actors.